everybody, Brian Curran here again for another guitar lesson. Hope you're enjoying these. Today's subject, dark was the night, cold was the ground. Doesn't really get much cooler than that song. One of the most iconic slide songs ever written. You might know it is on the gold record that was put on Voyager, leaving our solar system. That's pretty darn cool. You know, someday, who knows? But what a great song. We're gonna discuss the section coming up to the vocals. So basically the intro prior to when he starts to sing. But there's so much cool stuff in this. There's a couple of technique things that I'm going to discuss through this that I think is really important to improve your slide playing, especially if you're just getting started out. If you've been practicing for a short time, this is a great one to work. Some of these techniques we'll discuss in a moment. Before we get into the lesson, my usual disclaimer: I don't claim that this is 100% accurate to Blind Willie Johnson. It's pretty darn close, I think, and a great way to get introduced into the song. And always remember, I'm available for online private lessons anytime. If you have anything you want to learn a little bit more about some of what we've been doing on these lessons, send me a private message, throw a comment down. Be glad to hear from you and glad to help if I can. So, yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's lesson. Dark was the night, cold was the ground. We're going to talk about each phrase individually, and I'm going to give you many of the open string fills in between the melodic phrases, but well, we'll talk about that in just a minute. I'm going to give you the ones that I think is really important. Other than that, I think it's good for you to learn the melody, slide phrases, but the kind of fills in between. I think Blind Willie Johnson was improvising, just going with what felt natural at the time in between the phrases. I think you should do the same. So we'll get a couple of those, like I said, that I think are important. Other than that, it's going to be up to you to fill in the blanks, which is kind of cool. So, all right, first main phrase. And right into this phrase, we're going to start talking about some cool technique stuff here. But to map out the phrase fret-wise, to kind of get an idea of where to go, again, we're in open D. So we're on the 4th string, open, sliding into 3. Then you strike 3 again, slide into 5, and then we're back to 3. So we got... fairly simple so far. Okay, the next phrase, open 4th twice, into 3, into 5, then you're going to play 5 kind of 2 more times, slide into 7. Okay, so if we put those together, we would get... Okay, let me try that really slow, and maybe we could try to play it together. I'll give you a little count. 2, 3, 4. One more. 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the slide phrase. But if you notice there, I'm never removing my slide from the strings. It's just a continuous glide over the frets. So that's when the rhythmic portion of the melodic phrase becomes very important. So one thing you can try to do is just tap it out. Ba, 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 ba. That's almost as important or more important than exactly where your slide is at any given moment during the phrase. So the idea is leading up to the 7th fret, you can rhythmically play ba, 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 5, 5, 7. That's how I have it mapped out. But you can start to leave 5 and make it up to 7. Excuse me. See how I mapped it out to give you some frets to think about while you're doing it, but it's really the rhythm of the phrase and that smooth gliding motion of the slide continuously on the strings from one destination, or from a beginning point to a destination, which is the 7th fret on the 4th string. So you can start to think of that way, or if you can start to think that way, rhythm, feeling, ba 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 ba. That's what's important. That move. It's not super important that you're right over the 5th fret at any given moment, or right over the 6th fret at any given moment. Try to hear it in your head, know how it's supposed to sound, and just lay it out on the guitar. A friend of mine was trying to teach me some flat picking stuff. He's a mandolin player, and he's like, just get the down, up, down, up, down, up. It's just that simple. Your motorboat, as he calls it, down, up, down, up, down, up, and just lay the fingers on top of that. Well, the idea is simple, but actually executing is another. But try to hear that phrase and just lay that slide out and make your way basically from 3 to 7, right? Obviously, yeah, easier said than done. But if you kind of start to think that way, not only are you thinking in a melodic way of what the notes are, you're thinking in a rhythmic way of rhythmically how does the melody go, especially in instances like this when you're not removing the slide. It's just a nice smooth movement. So now following that, we have one of those fills, and this one is I think pretty audible, and I believe it's open 6, open 3, open 1, open 4. It's kind of a roll. So if we put the phrase and that together, a little rattle there. That's okay, right? Okay. Now, that's important, yes, but maybe you might want to do this. And that's it, or those middle fill notes, it's not hugely important, I don't think, because I think he was improvising those during the whole piece anyway. So I think it's good for you to do the same. I'll do the ones that I think, really stand out, but other than that, I think, just do what feels natural to you. Or you can not play any fills, it doesn't really matter. But now, the main part of this new melody starts on the 1st string. After this, we're going 5 to 7, back to 5, back to 7. Another example of that. Whoop. See? Then it's down to 2, and I believe this kind of from 2 kind of down. It's got a little slide into 4. Or I'm sorry, after that you have an open 4 string. That one sticks out pretty good. So it's, you can do this out of the flat pick too. You don't have to use your fingers. A lot of this could be accomplished with if you were using a pick. And actually, you know what? Let me get rid of these, make it a little easier on me while I'm breaking it down. You could certainly do that. So then it's into 4. Kind of hangs there. And again, you have that, this nice motion in and out of these notes. So first phrase done. We have this open fill. 5 to 7. Down to 2. Open 4. Into 4. So let's try that much. 3, 4 from the top. 3, 4. next one, I think you have a pretty clear open 1, open 4 for this. Back into 7, 5, 7. That same nice smooth move, see? In and out. Then we're going to take that up to 10 and 12, do the same. Okay, I don't think there's much fill in there, but you certainly could. If you want, right? So again, you can see that all that nice fluid movement. So let's take that much. So what we just did there was 5, 7, 5, 7 again, then 10, 12, same move. Kind of trail that off. So let's go from the top. 3, 4. Fill. Down to 2. 4 string open 4. Open 1 and open 4. 5, 7 again. Up to 10 and 12. Okay. Now, let's just try that together. I won't do any commentary, but try and play with me. I think that'll help. 3, 4. Okay. Not too tough so far, okay? Now, here I think is a pretty clear one fill-wise. I think he's going 6, 1, 4. And again, you could decide for yourself. You could just do 6. It's just filling in the spaces, essentially. Really what's happening on the slide is what really makes the song. Then we're on the 5th fret. So we got from that 12... I think it's this. Okay, and then we're on 5, 7, 5 again. It's kind of building back up into that section. So if we take it from the 10th and 12th fret, see, that fluid movement again. Now, something happens here. It's a flourish. It'll sneak right by you. You hear it. If you've listened to the song multiple times, you know it's happening. But it might not be something you've really paid attention to, especially if you're just starting on slide, right? So we were at 5 and 7. It's a flourish down the neck and pulling off to open. Slowly, you're shaking your way down a little bit, little vibrato, and then just gently, lazily taking the slide off. You don't have to do vibrato all the way down. You could just do that, but it seems to me he's got a little vibrato going in there, continuing down. But it's a technique that happens a lot. It's really subtle, but it's really cool. You know, no specific frets on your way back to when you pull the slide off. It's just a flourish. See? You can barely hear that ring, but it's there. So if we take it from the 10th and 12th, have our open fill. See? One more time. 3, 4. Open fill. Whoop. Let's try again. I messed up. 3, 4. Open fill. 5. Flourish. Okay? And, you know, as you're going through this video, this would be a great place to pause it and just work the dickens out of that lick. You could just start with this Get used to making those flourishes with vibrato or without. It doesn't really matter. Whatever stylistically sounds better to you. So, and in all these lessons, you know, especially this one, you know, as you go through, pause it. You know, learn that section, then move on. Pause it, learn that section, move on. You know what I mean? So, but let's try from the very beginning all the way up to that point. Try to play with me. Again, I think even if we're not exactly on time all the way through, I think it helps helps you kind of commit things to memory. From the beginning. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's go one more time. 3, 4. Okay, so I think I played a little different that time, but and that's the idea, you know. I mean, that's what's so great about it is you'll start to get your own way of going through it. You'll start to hear for you of how it's supposed to sound. Like all guitar players, we're gonna steal it. we're big time thieves. Okay, so we're leaving off here on a 12 and then on that flourish, and this note here I think is pretty much there. Open 1 and open 4. Then it's another back to 5 and 7. Same deal. So now this time he's doing a flourish again, but it's not descending. He goes like this. Up. Same thing. Up the neck to open. And again, there's really no destination before you take the slide off. Timing. Everything is just rhythmically going somewhere, right? It doesn't really, we could shake to 12. We could, well, if you want to do vibrato, you could just slide up and take the slide off. It's about the timing of when to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's tough, you know, it takes a lot of practice, but it's a matter of listening to the song, going to your instrument, listening to the song, going to your instrument, listen to the song, go to your instrument, and you start to either mimic Blind Willie Johnson, or you start to hear it a certain way for yourself, and it just starts to come out. The main thing is being conscious of those ideas, of that, you know, those moves, like the beginning, you know, where we talked about, you know, it's keeping the slide down on the strings, rhythmically playing through the riff. That's key, you know. Of course, the notes are important too, but you know, you'll catch it if you're having trouble with it. Don't worry about it. Just keep it in your mind, you know. Don't try not to do stuff like this. You know, or you don't want that, yeah. Or see, just ease your way through it. So again, that's from 3 and 2. Got that open 1, open 4. That's 3, 2. Or sometimes I pluck that 2. Sometimes I go back to 5, 7. Flourish up. Okay. So let's do that much from the top. Ready? 3, 4. we got so far. Okay, again, great place to pause, you know, and practice that for a day, a week, a month, who knows, you know, and then move on. So we left off with the flourish going up. It goes right back to kind of open 1 and 4 if you want, right back to the 3-2. Okay, the next melodic phrase, you have open 2nd string twice, then we're 3, kind of 3 to 4, back to 3 into 5. Again, you see, it's not so important when you strike, if you stop right on 3 or maybe a little past it. Rhythmically is the important part. Da 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 wow, ba 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 wow wow wow. You know what I mean? Now I can slide all the way to 4, go back, or I can not make it quite to 4. See, it's the rhythm part of that move. That's the key. Okay? Then I think you might be doing open 2nd, open 4 here. Then it's the 4th fret, 1st string. That one kind of trails off to open 2, I believe. So that section from your flourish up, we go back to kind of open 1 and 4, 3-2, open 2 twice, up to 5 from 3, then I think it's open 2 and open 4, into 4. Okay, let's go that far from the top. Okay, so again, we just discussed 5 to 7, flourish up, 3-2, open 2nd, open 2nd, 4, into the 4th fret there. Okay, all the way from the beginning. Try with me. 3, 4. Let's try that again. I messed up. 3, 4. Okay, I know that's a lot to swallow, but if you go through this video, you know, get each little phrase, learn it, and move on. Just kind of build it. You'll get it, and you'll get it quick. You know, it won't take you too long. So we left off on that 4th. Okay, here again, I believe he's doing open 2nd, open 4, but you can decide. You know, you can put in really whatever you want because it's the notes that matter, not necessarily what's in between all of these. He's doing 7th fret, so slide 2nd string into 7 from 5, then to 5, open 2nd, open 4 again, from 3 to 5. So okay. And sometimes when I listen to it, when he plays the 7th fret, it might be a double stop on the 4th and 7th. You know. Sometimes I feel like that it's a double stop in that section. I could be wrong, I don't know. It sounds cool, so if you want to do that, you can kind of do those melodies at the same time, those strings at the same time, 4 and 2. Sounds cool. I can't really tell. It's hard to, you know, he goes through it. I mean, let's be honest. It's not fast, but you know, a lot of people play this really lazy, and you know, Blind Willie Johnson, obviously, it's a lazy feel, but you know, I wouldn't quite say he's dragging these licks out. I mean, they come, you know, it's quick enough, you know. But if you want, you can do double stops. I usually don't. So 5 to 7, 5, then open strings again. Final lick, I think again he does open 2, open 4. But this is a cool lick. Perfect example of the movement of your slide rhythmically. Never leaving the neck. Let's see. It's kind of the rhythm of the melody on the end. And it's the movement that's really important. Not necessarily, you know, I'll tell you what the frets are essentially, is open string, 3, 5, then you're kind of sliding from 5 to 4, back to 5, 7. Whether you make it all the way back to 4, or maybe a little bit past it, almost to 3. That's okay. It's that feel that's important. It's not super important that it's directly over 4. If you want to be really accurate, that's fine, but it's more in that rhythm and that feel of how it goes. And then it starts basically. I forget how it goes after that, but let's see. No. Something like that. Not all that good vocally doing it, but great piece, you know. So mainly, you know, and that vocal start right there. So, but those things of that slide, staying on the strings and this fluid in and out or up and down kind of movement on this guitar neck over the frets, man, in this song. This is a great song, I should say, to work on that technique. So let's play it one time through all together from the very beginning. I'll try and go nice and slow. Try and stay with me if you can. I know it's tough rhythmically. It's not like straight time. So, but do your best, and I think it helps. 3, 4. Oh, I forgot to tell you that last lick, didn't I? That's going into 3, out to open. Sorry about that. But that's the whole intro pretty much, and then he starts to sing. So great piece, you know. And even if you don't necessarily learn the tune, learn the phrases that we talked about today, if you take away the idea of that continuous movement of the slide up and down the, you know, over the frets, never leaving it, and not only think of phrases in a note ways, but in a rhythmic way. And when you can meld those two together with the slide on the guitar, it really, 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 really opens the door for all kinds of cool ideas and arrangements for vocal songs and things like that. So slide is pretty unique in the world of music. So definitely worth doing. So anyway, Brian Kern again. Thanks again. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And as always, subscribe, give me a like. Please comment. Let me know what other content you would like to hear and see. Maybe a song suggestion or a technique suggestion. I'm all ears. And as usual, available for online private lessons, video sharing lessons, all kinds of different ways. But got any questions on anything? Never feel weird about contacting me. I'm happy to help any way I can. Again, we're all here to learn. So until next time, we'll see you all later.